Hello everybody, it's Mark from Burton Bibles, back with another video in our A to Z series. Today we are looking at the letter N, which I am going to again be a bit, loose with and look at notepaper or notebooks. Yes, there are Bibles that will have notepaper in the back. My old Cameo wide margin came with a few blank sheets in the back, and this is very useful, and I'd recommend that you get a Bible with blank sheets in the back, because if you get a sudden thought in your head that you want to follow up later in a meeting, you can simply write it down using one of your good quality Bible marking pens, and you can follow it up later. If you want to put a little meeting breakdown or meeting summary, you can also do so in the back of your Bible rather than scrambling for a notebook. Very, very useful to have. Of course, the Cambridge current wide margin is the Concord, and this beautiful Bible impresses greatly in the notepaper stakes. It has an index to notes in the back, and each page is A, B, C, D, E, and so on and so forth. And then once you've gone through the letters of the alphabet, you also have, I think it's 36 or something like that, sheets. So 72 pages altogether of lined notepaper, and it's even got a little break in there so you can do a dual column thing if you want. So again, very, very useful. In the back of my old Oxford wide margin there is also some blank sheets which I filled up here. And after the map section there's also a load of lined paper as well, which I'm starting to work my way through also. So that is good. But yes, notebooks. I probably know as much about notebooks almost as I do about Bibles now. I am a geek, a stationery geek, hence the pens, hence the notebooks. And if I was to turn the camera around now, you would see a bookshelf almost full of notes. In fact, let's do that for interest's sake. If I was to swivel this down right now, you would see down there that I've got many notebooks and files and folders, all sorts of things going on back there. But let's carry on with looking at some notebooks, because I've used thousands of different notebooks and I've researched them and I've used them, and I've gifted a lot away as well, because I just tend to stockpile them. I buy them when I see them, and when I like what I see I tend to get a few, and then I'll find myself giving notebooks away to people, as I've done in the past. So I do like small notebooks as well. I like big notebooks, but I do like small notebooks. I'm a big fan of the A6 moleskins. This is a moleskin here. The paper is pretty good in it, and they've got a nice size. They've got a decent quality. They're not cheap, but you can use cheaper ones and they just tend to fall to bits. So I do recommend the moleskins. I've got one that I've yet to break into here, which just looks amazing in this kind of burnt orange colour. I really like that. I tend to go for lined. I don't like clear or squared or anything like that. I just go for lined and I just fill them. Big fan of these. These are Quo Vadis. This is the Habana. Got a very thick vinyl covered sort of card stock cover, and I've started to fill this with various different work appointments. Tend to keep them with me. This is A6 size again, so it can slip in your back pocket. Really handy, and also handy for taking to church meetings, of course. And this is the what do they call this one again? This is the Cartesio. I get these from the journal shop. I will put them a link in the comments, the description, and again I use this to take to meetings, and I just jot a few notes down that hit me. And again, if I am perhaps taking a meeting, I can put a quick outline and some thoughts in there. Really good quality. These are nice elastic closure with a notch in, which is also good to keep it in place, and it's even got the customary pocket in the back there. But this one is like nearly 10 years old, and it's held up really well. I recommend this, and you can also get them in all sorts of colours as well. So I like a bit of colour in my notebooks, but I've used all sorts over the years, and I've tended to, if I've used A5s, I mean these are from These are from my old student days, basically. I mean, this one's from 2002, Sylvine sort of notebooks, and this one's from the year 2000, I believe. Some of my first meetings in there, and this is a Europa. Europa and Sylvine are very comparable. I do like spiral bound because obviously in a meeting you can literally fold them back on themselves and write away, rather than juggling a notebook on your lap. So I am a big fan of cheaper spiral bound notebooks as well. I have used other products from Moleskine as well. These are the Moleskine Cahiers, and these are worth a look as well, because you can literally take a subject, for example, Mark's Gospel. This is from 2011, and you can. I went through a phase of printing stuff out, cutting it out, putting it in. And I filled this one just with general notes and pictures and ideas and study notes for Mark's Gospel, and you could have one of them for each book of the Bible. These are stitch sewn, and I just put a sticker, a label sticker on the front. The last few sheets are detachable as well, so if you find yourself needing to put them in somewhere else, you've overlapped a study or something, you can do with those. And the same goes for that. These are also good because they're slim and flexible to shove in with your Bible or in a pocket or take them on the platform. They do lie flat quite well. So yeah, I do like the Cahiers, and they're obviously a lot less expensive as well, but they are a lot thinner. So perfect for book studies or topical studies or something like that. The full-size Moleskines I've used as well. So again, these are notes from 2011, and this one, yeah, just got filled. These notebooks tend to take a fountain pen quite well, so you can use almost any sort of ink on here. Sometimes I like to leave this side blank because sometimes I find myself, if I'm writing a page of notes, I will literally, sometimes spill those thoughts over onto here. As well, and it's useful just to keep the other side clear for that. So yeah, that's something on Moleskine. Maybe you are familiar with them, maybe you use them yourself, but yes, they're definitely worth a look. And I have tried some of their larger products. I think this is, I don't even think it's B5, I think it's bigger than B5. They do these large, really quite large ones. If we compare it to my Bible, you'll see that it's quite large, but these are great for desk study. So I've been doing a little Bible study with my son, and been starting to put some notes into this one. That's going to be our book. That's only a week or two old, but here's one that I made earlier, so to speak. So this one I've just tried to put tried to keep it organised. I've still yet to complete this one, but most of it is filled with teaching notes and study notes, Bible class, various meetings that we've done. And I do like the larger format because you can really spread it out, and you can really use the space and get a lot of stuff down on there. So yeah, well worth getting something bigger if you're doing a more in-depth study and you're going to have a greater volume of notes. So yeah, I forget what these are called. They might be called the folio style or something like that, but this one was on offer recently and it was really good value, so I picked it up. I do like B5 as a size as well, and I like black and red products. These are a global product. This one I've yet to break into, but I do like the size because it's smaller than those Moleskines, just a little bit narrower. You can't take them into a meeting with you really, but they're great for desk study. They're spiral bound, so again, you can do that. They're hardback, so you can hold them in one hand and write as well, should you require that. And so these are well worth a look as well. Good paper, nice clear lines. Again, you could have many of these stacked and put alongside each other and pull them out, and they're hard wearing, so they would last a lifetime as well. So yeah, definitely worth a look at black and red. They do a softer sort of effort like this. I forget what this one's called, but I've started to put some notes in there of another Bible class. I I used an ink in here which really went bad on the page. It was a fountain pen ink, but it must have been old or something, or reacted with the paper. But yeah, so this is really nice. I think this is more of a meeting book, so it's got the date and the subject and stuff like that and the page number. And you might want to use that if you want to get really organised with your studies, but it's difficult to maintain. That's why I don't tend to do it. What else have we used? Well, I have dabbled with Filofax products. Maybe you have as well. This was a Filofax Flex, which I thought was quite interesting. You can put other notebooks in those slots. There's a slot down there. This itself is a slot. I think there was something you could put in there as well. You could adapt this sort of system to however you want to use it. But again, I would just put my notes in there, whatever meeting I was taking or whatever study I was enjoying, and I would just put it all in there, and you had something that you could take with you with a pen, loop and everything. Only used it the once through and didn't really think about refilling it. Not sure why, but maybe didn't warm to it. But I have used their full-on Filofax products. This is the A5 Lyndhurst, which is I think it is a leather. Yeah, it is deluxe leather, it says. This is quite nice. Yes, it's refillable, but what you tend to find is you fill it and then you don't know what to do with the other stuff. You need another one to put all the stuff that you've filled in, and I have got another brown one on the shelf there for archiving. But you can get dividers, you can get letter dividers, so you could put, you know, subjects in there and stuff. But yeah, I just tended to fill it with my notes and meeting prep and study and stuff like that. You can get different colour paper as well, which is quite interesting. You could do something with that. But yeah, really quite nice because it's got, just knocked the camera there, it's got the subject box up here, you see, so you can put something in there to keep yourself organised, which doesn't look like I've tended to do. But yeah, infinitely refillable. The paper's not cheap though, but another good system, and it's very high quality. You know, nothing's happening to damage those notes once they're inside something like that. So that's something that I've used and that I've enjoyed as well. You can always go back to it as well, you see. You can take those notes out of there and get a rack load of new paper and fill it up. But as we close the video with this rambling and fanatical rant about notebooks, I've saved the best till last. This is a new acquisition that my wife got me for Christmas. She kindly put my initials in there. This is from William Hanna, which is a UK company, and they've started producing these luxury notebooks. What can I say about this? It's a thick book, in like new book leather, and it's lined with another thick piece of suede, all stitched. And what they've done is they use this arc system with the stainless steel. This is stainless steel ring binding, and basically you can put your notes. I started printing some notes out on this A5 paper. You order the paper from them, and it comes punched like this. And the beauty of it is that you can just remove pages, a bit like the Filofax, but instead of having a clunky click closure, you literally can just take the paper and tear it down like that, and you can put it back in. The paper is quite thick, so it will stand up to continued use like that. You can get the paper, as I have done here, you know, with a dot, with the dot type style, and it just goes back in like that. It's a little bit clumsy going in and out like that, but once the paper's in there, it's fine, and it just looks, smells and feels absolutely outstanding. And again, if you've got a nice Bible, a nice leather Bible case, as I have, then really you want to have a nice notebook to go with it. This is my best notebook, which I take with me around the place, and it's just really nice to have, and it's personal because it was bought for me. It has a pen loop as well, which is nice, and over the years it's going to collect these sort of scars and scratches, and it's going to become yours. Thoroughly recommend you check out his website. He's brought out A6 style as well, and there's all different contrasts, different colour leathers, different colour suedes for you to go for. You can really go crazy. Not cheap, very special present from my wife, which I'm very grateful and thankful. but I will put his website in down below as well as the journal shop and any other useful website I can think of that I may have mentioned in this video. I'll put in there, and I hope you've enjoyed just looking at notepaper for Bibles and notebooks that you may want to check out. If there's anything that you've seen here that you've liked, then that's great. Obviously, I'm just bringing it to your attention. I'm a stationery geek, so maybe you can hang off the back of that and get some decent ideas for stationery that you also like. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you on another video soon. Cheers, bye bye.